Good morning, our Beauty Equilibrium family. How's everybody doing? We're gonna get right into it. And
My bad. That's me.
sorry about that, y'all. NBA update. We're gonna start with that.
Cool. We can.
CP3
Phoenix, man.
Hey,
got
man.
Whipped.
God, yeah.
by Don Luca. Man,
Lynden.
that boy is so good.
Yeah, he. You know what's funny? I don't know if you saw the Patrick Beverley.
Blah, blah.
Did you see him?
And I seen that clown.
Hey, man.
He a hater, man.
Man.
He's a hater, bro.
Do you think he has a point when he said he pretty much said nobody is losing sleep
I don't
when
think
they play Chris Paul?
Nah.
Nobody's worried about Chris
full
Paul.
of shit.
You think they worried?
He was just disrespectful. He went on there, in my opinion, with a personal. You know, he was being very biased because of his own personal reasons. I don't think he liked him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Just
think
to keep
so
it
either.
real.
I don't think so.
Because you see what Matt Barnes said. Matt Barnes called him out later on that day. Checked him on national TV. Said it's a fine line between like being critical of someone's game and disrespectful. Even Lillard came out. A lot of people came out. He was on there with that was personal. That wasn't
Yeah,
no.
that was
but
personal.
you know, Beverly and his energy, it's just different.
But you're supposed to keep that on the court when you come on a ESPN show.
But Patrick Beverley, he just a different dude. Like his energy is weird.
No, I get that. Everybody, it's
like he
I'm
said
not
he's the
saying
best. He also called himself the greatest defender.
Yeah,
We know that's
true.
but you can't be that when you're on this platform. You have to be non-biased.
No, you don't.
And
Yeah, like-
They do that all the time.
Yeah.
They say call people trash because that's what he was saying. He said the same way y'all criticize Paul George, the same way y'all criticize Ben Simmons. They criticize all those players, right?
yes,
Right.
He's saying
right.
criticize CP3. He's saying that CP3 is
when it was time to criticize James Harden on that same show, who we all know's been playing terrible. He was like, no, James Harden deserves supermax money. He didn't have that same energy for James Harden.
Right.
James Harden lack of performance in the postseason the way he did for Chris Paul.
he said he deserves supermax money after this year.
After this performance,
Oh, yeah.
yes, because
That's
he's
personal
James
there.
Harden talking about because what he's done for the game and X, Y, and Z.
Then he should.
So you
what
saying
has CP3 done for the game then?
well, that's what JJ Redick was saying yesterday. He was saying when it comes to CP3, you grade him on his current, on how he plays at this
Yeah.
current moment. But when it comes to James Harden, you saying he should get supermax money because of what he's done for the game?
Can I
He
interject real quick?
biased.
Dad Bod Guy said, "What's up, Dad Bod Guy?" He said, "Remember when Patrick Beverley pushed CP3 in the back?
Thank you.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot of hate,
personal.
and I agree
He's
with
hating
that.
on this man.
Yeah, he got a lot of hate in his blood. Like we need to play that Mace song.
And what's crazy is, you know, from a network's point, they'll go on and they want somebody like Pat Beverley on there talking trash about a player because it's good for their ratings.
Right.
I mean, do they really want that?
We talking about it now.
I thought it was terrible, man. For this, first of all, he can't even discuss like sports fluently. Like
Clinton,
he was up there. He don't have it.
you see what Clinton put? CP3 needs CPR in the playoffs. Wow, Clinton,
Hey, man,
tell
did
us
you
how
see
you
the-
really feel, bro.
Did you see the meme that said, "I'm glad CP3 kicked his habit"? And they showed the tweet. He said, "After getting that taste of the finals, I'm addicted."
Nah, I didn't
And
see
then it said,
that.
"I'm glad he kicked his habit." I was like, "Man, they gotta chill."
Shima, what's up?
What's up? Yeah, I just feel like
It was
Pat Bev ain't
personal.
got no business speaking on CP3, man.
At
It's
all.
like this dude
Bro.
is arguably one of the GOATs in his position. Like
Right.
you can make
Actually,
the argument.
I disagree. I think he can speak on him, but
Not
don't,
like this,
but don't
though.
hate. Like, just really keep it real
I
about
mean,
his game. Did he play bad?
you
Yeah,
should
That's
he
what I'm
did.
saying. Like
Your
you're not
opinion should be a little bit more respectful,
Right.
Because you haven't done anything better than Chris Paul. So
And
why
even-
would you even say something?
And even what he's talking about is one side of the game. Like even if you want to say Pat Bev, he is to keep it a buck. He's a good defensive player, and he knows how to get in people's minds and
Right.
and do that. Like you can give him that respect, but he's not known for offense. He's not known for scoring.
Matt Barnes said
CP3.
career's worst season, which is I think this season is better than his career average.
Wow.
His
All
whole
right.
career.
We got a lot more to talk about. So
Yeah.
let's kind of wrap this NBA stuff up, y'all.
Yeah, that's it. Then you wrapped it up.
Well, no, I didn't mean like that, but you know,
It's done.
well, pretty much, you know, we got Boston in Miami. We got what is it?
Golden State and Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
Now.
So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen, y'all. One thing I do appreciate about this past games, it was the games were good. They were very, very good. But
Yes.
you know, moving right along, y'all.
Yeah.
What we gonna hop on next?
The Buffalo supermarket
Yeah.
shooting, man.
I don't know.
It's been a lot of shootings in this last couple weeks. This one was racially motivated.
Yeah,
you
he
know.
had the words NIGGR painted on his AR. He was so he said, you know, hunting everybody non-white, you know, in the supermarket. This dude, he was not sick. He was in his right mind. He should have definitely had and when they took him into custody, you know, once again unscathed, you know, not bothered, not hurt. This is a real situation. I hope he gets the firing squad, bro, to the head. I'm sorry, you know, I know that sounds real crazy, but dude, like this stuff needs to stop. You know, this massive shootings and all this stuff is like, for what? You know, what are you guys scared of?
Have you noticed too? Like they're becoming so common that they're not even.
You said common. Why is mass shootings become common? Go ahead, G. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, they're just becoming so common that people don't even stay in the news that long. That's what I was gonna say. Like, if you notice that, it's like we talk about it. Oh, it was a shooting over here. Like, it was one in L.A. It was somebody got shot in downtown L.A. It was a church that got shot up too.
A 5-year-old boy just got shot 9 times for snitching.
After you know what he was snitching on?
What?
He killed his mom and dad.
He killed his mom and dad?
The shooter killed his parents.
Yeah.
And then
You think
said
I'm
he had
not
to kill
gonna
a
snitch?
5-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Because you gonna tell on me. Like this is.
We starting to become desensitized to it. Like I'm numb to it now. I'm just like, hey man, this shit ain't gonna stop until something else greater got to fix this, man. They deal with this shit what?
I do want to say that it's becoming like an epidemic in its own right. You know what I mean? Because we do see so much of it. We hear so much of it. I'm thinking about even taking the notifications off of my Citizens app because it's just sometimes
Stressful.
it's too much.
it is
you know
a
what
lot.
I mean?
It is a lot.
I do want to say that in regards to the Buffalo shooting, his mental health, you know, I'm sorry, but I've already heard it in the news cycle. And also, they often say, you know, and blame mental health as the issue, but they did say that he had threatened to shoot up his high school.
Yeah. That was the
So,
part that I just
that's
couldn't
one of the-
believe
exactly,
that he
that's
was.
one of
This
the puzzle
dude, he
pieces.
didn't have no mental health issues.
He already threatened to shoot up his high school, which they're saying is a mental health crisis. You know what I mean? So
That's
So anytime
convenient.
somebody think to
Right.
shoot up a school, it's a mental illness.
that's what
I
they
mean,
That's
it's
because
a
only
mental
one.
health issue.
That's because only one group of people be doing that shit.
said. Yeah.
See how they plan? They prepare to be a scapegoat for
But I
them.
will say this: they
Wait a
actually
minute, time out.
said that he was radicalized online during COVID. So
Dad Bod Guy says he was already treated a year ago for mental health and was cleared.
right,
He was.
Yeah, he
was-
basically
and
threatened to
went
shoot up his school.
Right.
Went in the clinic for a threat of
He was planning that.
yeah. So if he's cleared, you know that means his mental his functions was well intact.
let me ask you this: there's a lot of stake here. First of all, there's something happening in America that we have to say it. We have to address it. Okay. First of all, people don't just write manifestos for the
180
you know what I mean?
pages.
You don't write a manifesto.
What? That-
You don't just write a manifesto.
That's a small. That's a book.
And
He
let me
drove
just say
200
this.
miles
You don't write a manifesto
and wrote 180 pages.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
and, then,
don't
and then on top of that, all the
make it make sense, y'all.
the rhetoric in the manifesto has to do with the replacement theory, which is going around. We need to talk about it because
the
domestic
replacement theory
terrorism
is-
is a real issue right
Yeah.
here. Okay,
It is.
For those who don't,
Yes.
it's basically saying that people that races are Caucasians are so concerned with
Jews, immigrants, and blacks.
blacks, immigrants, minorities growing in numbers and their numbers shrinking that they are fearful that they'll be replaced as the number one majority in the country as far as population. So
and voting and jobs and
but see,
everything
we got
else.
the reason why I think you got to be careful with that type of thing when they come up with these terms. I feel like it's a back door to excuse like behavior sometimes. And it really comes down to like
Absolutely.
you got to be careful how you approach that, because then the same way that they'll look at you and say, all right, this dude is scared for this, then they'll turn it on your people and use it for you. That's why they tried to blame his parent. They were saying we should hold the parents accountable too. Start holding the parents accountable. But I said, are you going to hold all the parents accountable for every kid that shoots up anything? With these new terms, sometimes they'll push an agenda that'll really impact you more than it's going to impact anybody else. So,
I see exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
because then it'll be like, oh, Lil Ray,
Yeah.
da-da-da-da.
Right.
When this is violence, period.
Exactly.
It's like, and then did you see the black man who said I spoke with him? He said he talked to the guy the day before.
For 2 hours.
Said they had like a 2-hour conversation. And he said he said he seemed highly intelligent. Like he said that's why he said he had a shirt that said genius on it. He said, I wanted to see if he was a genius. He said, and he was.
A lot of serial killers and stuff like that be geniuses. They be smart.
So I just, how many more of these
Man.
are, and it's like it's just getting more high tech. They're starting to come with the it almost look like a video game. They got the cameras on them now. They're streaming.
That's that Call of Duty.
It's just this times, man. It's just the energy out there. Remember, when you factor in all this pressure out here in this world, with everything we dealing with, we just refresh off COVID. You know what I'm saying? Now we dealing with the inflation. Then
Remember,
the police ain't got no more money.
Dave Chappelle said that in one of
The streets is crazy.
his stand-ups on Netflix. He said, since COVID, we haven't had a mass shooting in a long time because we're all inside. So
it's pressure out here, man. People out here popping.
yeah, man.
Facts.
Oh, I know. So
I mean, also, I just want to, let me just hit this. Let me just say this.
Say this.
Somebody said online when I was reading about all this stuff, the care that people get arrested that shoot 10 people.
Oh, man.
The care, and, that's a side issue. But anyway, the care that people get arrested, the care and handling that they experience due to, a mass shooting versus other things is just, phenomenal. But anyway,
that goes back to how people look at you. Like you tend to treat people based on like how you value them and how you humanize them. If you don't have if you look at me as an evil person just by my race, then my value is limited, right?
Exactly.
If I can see compassion, I have empathy and sympathy for you. When I look into your eyes, I'm gonna treat you. Man, you had to remember the guy that said, "Oh, he had a bad day."
right?
Yeah.
Shout out to
It's funny you
the
say
nail salon. He had a
value.
bad day.
Yeah, we're not as
Bad day.
valuable, man. And in life, you get paid off your value.
Yeah, so if you're not valuable, it's like
That's
I
why
don't care.
as a group, we just ain't got no money and all kind of shit. That's crazy.
It's a whole nother topic. Bro.
Yeah, no, I just
I feel you though.
Man, yeah. Moving right along, bro.
The Kevin Samuels. So go ahead. Jay.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I guess his main agenda, was he wanted everyone to recognize that at least black men are stepping up and doing their thing, as far as being providers or taking care of the kids, because there has been a drastic change of less deadbeat black men. And he wanted the world to recognize that, especially starting with black women. I mean, don't get me wrong. We all need to acknowledge, one another, especially us as a group. But his message
it kind of got lost in translation because of the rhetoric.
Yeah. So
entertainment purposes.
He did have one hell of entertainment catch, but
I think sometimes, like we talked about, even going back to last week with the trends and the attention, and even if that's entertainment purposes, I think sometimes you got to have the hook, the line, and the sinker. You know what I mean? And when your hook becomes everything, it kind of takes away from the rest of what you're trying to get out there. And I think that's what happened because nobody shared, like the clip the clips you're talking about,
Right.
when he was saying, I want black men and black women to be together.
Yeah.
Nobody's sharing that.
No,
No. You know what
I'm
because
saying?
everybody likes
That's not going viral.
And nobody
You know-
was sharing the ones where he was when he had all the the requirements that a man should have.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
nobody's
saying?
sharing
They
that.
wasn't sharing that, and that shit hit the gut just like it would hit the gut for a woman.
Right.
When the shoe was on
Right.
her foot.
It's not sexy
But
enough, as they say.
one thing, you gotta give this man credit.
Nobody want to hear that, man.
Nobody
wanna
don't,
hear
but
it. Like, you know
it
what I
has
mean?
to be said because we, just like like shout out to Kendrick Lamar and his message. It's like we are in a toxic culture within ourselves. We need to get better before we start pointing the finger, to anybody else. We ourselves need to point the finger back at our own individual selves and
It's a perfect segue, man.
and hold ourselves accountable.
Facts.
We definitely have to
Accountability.
hold ourselves accountable because, I'm sorry, we need to get better. We do. Shout out to, like I said, Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar,
His
the album.
album was
Are You
amazing. I'm rolling. It's different. I feel it's a more of an artistic vibe. You sit at home. You mixing and mingling. Got your little, your J. You got your, little bit of wine. Like you're chilling. You listen to it and it's really thought provoking. You really have to sit there and listen to it and grasp what he's saying versus driving down the street bumping your head. You really got to pay attention to what he's saying this time. And he really talking that talk.
You rolling, Lynden?
Nah. I just didn't want to hate on y'all little moment with it, so I was letting y'all have y'all energy.
No,
Hey,
I already know how you feel. Shima, have you heard it?
I don't roll.
I only heard some snippets from it. I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get to that.
I think people just at the time where they just don't want to, they don't want to like have that diversity in music anymore. Like I talk about all the time. Like, man, what happened to the backpack rappers, the gangster rappers,
Because right now
Hollywood,
everybody sound like they from down south Atlanta. Everybody sound like that
the
right now.
commercial rappers. We used to have like
A variety.
remember you would go in the hip hop category and it was like subcategories.
Yes.
You know what I
But
mean?
it's none of that right now.
I like it. I like it. Just the
I do
fact
too.
that you're not doing what everybody else is doing and it still sounds good.
Yeah, it
I
sounds.
think that
yeah.
It's just not my cup of tea, but I like that it's around. You know what I'm saying? It's a place for it. Like you said, we had genres coming up.
People want to
not
hear
genres.
about
We had different categories.
pimping, killing, and drugs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what goes right now, and it's like all that. They be like, man, ain't nobody trying. It's like that. Remember that Jay-Z line? He said, "You trying to kick knowledge?"
Yeah.
He was like, he was shitting on that, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn. You think about that line at the time, it's like,
It's true. Nobody don't want to hear it. But
sheesh. I do. I like it.
I do too. And that's the thing. We need to once again hold ourselves accountable.
Trying to kick knowledge.
Trying to kick now.
Nah, I'm trying to kick that shit you need to learn.
I mean,
Like-
the songs that I did hear, I mean, he's talking a lot about the culture. He's talking about
And I don't even.
he's talking about relationships. It's just like he's hitting some topics that are just like so, so tender. My bad, yeah, so tender and just really something that we don't always talk about in the healthiest light. So I
Right.
feel like you talk about you hear more stuff about Rico, in raps and stuff than you do about some of the things that he's mentioning. But anyway,
That's right. Speaking of Rico, we got to talk about that Young Thug situation, man.
Man, I don't even know where to start with that. Good luck to them gentlemen. Jesus Christ.
hit with the Rico.
This has been going on. They getting these cats from 2015.
Hey,
And-
man, I think it was Ice-T that said it's easy. It's hard to convince, police officers that you're not a gangster when you're in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're facing these charges. But it's easy to convince them you are one when you're on the streets and you're free.
Yeah.
And what was ironic, you watched the podcast $1 Million Worth of Game?
No, I need to get on that.
Well, Gilly the Kid and Rollo was just talking to him, eerily about that and was letting him know, like, man, you got to start moving different. You're in a position where you got to leave that alone, flat out. You got to leave
Flat
it
out.
alone. You know what I mean? And that shit never ends well, man. Like,
But
does
the
it
thing
ever
is-
end well? No.
Their audience, it's like they're scared to change for their audience. It's like, like, I started off.
You ain't gonna
with
be
this,
real.
You ain't gonna make no money.
But sometimes it's not always about the money.
Then what
It's
else
the-
is it about for
It's
them?
about the movement. We have to move
No, I feel
our
you.
culture. So to keep talking about killing one another is not going to do anything.
I feel you.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, okay.
But you got to ask yourself, why is that what's selling? Why is that what's cracking? Why is that what you want to hear? And then when somebody brings something alternative to it, it's like, man,
on
that's
us. Because they force it on us.
Doing what you doing is gonna have to require a lot of humility though, and these niggas ain't humble. It would have to really say, I'm gonna have to be
But
comfortable
this is
with
the
the
thing.
bread I'm gonna get if I change
But
my
this is
message.
the thing. You said they ain't. Let's stop using the word ain't and just do it.
Yeah, be humble, man.
I just know that's some serious charges, man. Like anytime you get with the RICO, it's so hard to disprove it because the concept is you're part of a criminal organization that is in the business of committing crimes. So that means that I'm liable for what Jay do. I'm liable for what L do,
And also,
just by mere association.
even with that, right? I've heard that the charge that they got on these cats, it's not gonna really hold anyway. So we will see.
You said it's not gonna
They're
hold.
saying it's not gonna hold, but people are already
What, in
taking,
jail?
and they're taking
There you go, Damon.
I don't know.
Said
Yeah,
most
for
of
the
them
art.
aren't rapping for the art and the culture.
Rapping for money, I get that,
That's it.
but what sells is it's all. Remember, I said, man, as long as this shit is as long as it's going the way it's going, somebody benefiting.
And we know who that is.
Well, first of all, if this is their
And that's
reality,
another thing.
this is their reality. You have to just think about, how do you change that? How do you pivot into something else? Like, if they're living that life, I mean, I can't even say that it's wrong. They're living this life,
I think it.
Well, let me interject, right? So, and I give you that, right? But the thing is, one thing we need to start doing and figure out, and shout out to my little brother Mike, right? Because I heard him talking about this. I don't want to put his idea out there without, I know it's being, it's being copyrighted, but we need to take the power out of the record labels and give it more to the artist, so they can be more creative
Right.
on how they want to move their music.
Right.
Right. So instead of the music industry and the music companies telling you how they want or what they want on your album, right? You are the artist and demand exactly how you want your artist to go. And then we can have this movement, right? That's what we need.
And that's really just one side, but I do agree with what
Yeah.
you're saying. The one part of it is taking control of the creativity that you have.
Exactly.
And I see Lie. I agree with Lie.
Lie.
He said they don't want to hear about positivity. They want to hear about sliding on the ox. and that is the culture.
You're right.
You're
You're
talking
right.
about
You're right.
being.
I said that exactly.
Don't nobody want to
You
hear
living the
all
life,
that.
though, but you living the life.
It's like, man,
And
I'm
somebody
not.
want to hear it.
As soon as you cut a track on them, man, they ain't talking about some certain, you know that vibe.
tryna go off.
They turning it off,
Can't with this bitch.
and this is boring.
All right, man. Moving right along. Which one we gonna go to
Bang,
now?
bang. We got to talk about Nike.
bang, bang, bang.
So,
Bang, bang, bang.
Nike alleges Stockx sold fake versions of his shoes
StockX
on
shit.
an online marketplace.
Hey, man, look.
Nike
Ignorance.
bought pairs of the shoes that were validated and stamped as being authentic, and they turned out not to be.
StockX, I had a lot of faith in y'all. If my shoes I got from y'all's in bang bangs, we
Bang,
got a
bang.
problem. Boy, look. Hey, man.
The cold part
But
about it.
I think it's
On
a
the flip
strategy
side,
on
yeah.
Nike's behalf
I was just
to
about to say that.
devalue StockX, because you got to think about it. StockX is taking advantage of Nike's secondary market, the aftermarket
And Nike is
sales.
trying to take over and flood that market.
And they're
trying to get that whole. They're trying to take that whole situation
So
back.
you're saying
already-
it's like a smear campaign?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they can come swoop
Yeah.
them up.
Nike
Swoop 'em up.
already making money off their shoes that don't get manufactured right from other people. StockX is just making their own set of money. You feel me? Without them, so Nike cool with the bang bangs.
That's like, man, if you want to buy a chicken shack, man, you go put a roach in the kitchen. And
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Come, and then you come when they got the 10 on it and be like, hey, look, I'll buy this from
It's
you.
just that Nike wasn't getting nothing from StockX off the bang bang.
That's what's going
There's
on.
a lot of other
So,
manufacturers slanging.
Because,
the
like,
bang-
look, StockX basically, in their statement, they said Nike's filing was baseless. And where's the part? Oh, this part here says, but it's also curious because given their own brand protection team has communicated confidence in our authentication program and that hundreds of Nike employees, including current senior executives, use StockX to buy and sell products.
Yeah.
Not the
So it's
senior
like-
executives on StockX.
so it's like, look,
you know
bro,
what?
Y'all got to be
Stop
trusting
it.
me at some point.
Yeah, make
You
it
know
make
what I mean?
sense.
Stop it.
Make it make
Y'all not-
sense.
Yeah.
So y'all probably caught a few of them.
Yeah.
And like Devon was saying, sometimes if you got a list, let's say you're an employee and you check 10 things off, and you look at the shoe and you check those 10 things off, and it's like, all right, pass it on. It might be something else.
It's
that
really
you missed.
passive. Yeah.
Because some of these shoes, we seen some shoes come through in the shop, and it's like, I seen a couple brothers looking at them like, man, it look real? Like,
it looked
checking
real,
everything.
but
Yeah.
And it was like the one thing. Remember? Yeah, man. It was
So-
like this one thing. It was like, nah, it's the bang bang.
But when you
they
read
look
the
so
articles-
good,
Here's the part that got me on Nike's side. When I read the article, they were also selling NFTs and saying that they was affiliated with Nike. And then they removed the
See, because Nike
affiliation
was trying to
tax.
get that whole situation with the NFTs on lock.
Yeah.
That's the
So
real,
that's
the
probably
real
the
story.
situation.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, man, Nike, y'all some slick
But
MFers.
it's all strategy. Because I
Yeah.
guarantee you they're gonna try to get StockX and buy them up.
Damn. Okay, we got 2 more minutes, y'all. What y'all want to talk about?
Guarantee they're gonna try to do that.
Real quick, I would just say, y'all can keep buying off StockX, man. I think Nike is up to something. All these shoes is
Yeah.
Don't throw your shoes away. Don't nobody know.
Yeah.
Wear your shoes.
Hit the like button, y'all. Don't
Oh,
just sit
I
there
know.
watching. Hit the like button.
I know one
okay?
thing, real quick. Married with Children is actually coming back, man.
Animated
cast?
though.
They animating it, yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be dope.
like the Family Guy. That's gonna go.
Hey, I
And
roll.
they got the whole original cast.
I can
doing the
see that.
voiceovers.
I
yeah.
can
They
see
might give
that.
The Simpsons a run.
I could see
Hey, what
that.
is this?
They gonna-
What is
that.
this? G? The FDA investigates delay in baby formula.
Man, it's a
plant?
shortage on. You ever heard about
yeah.
the baby formula shortage?
No, are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't
shortages?
no more baby
Yeah.
formula.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So they investigating because they said it's not an issue of having a formula, it's a distribution problem. So they can't get the formula to the shelves.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
wasn't no
Yeah,
formula
this-
back in the day.
Huh?
Wasn't no formula back in the day.
Man, you need formula now, man. Everybody working. Ain't nobody got that milk on deck.
Your baby might have a job. So hey, your baby might have
Ain't
a
no
job.
abundance of milk.
Oh man, everybody, that's so funny. Ain't no
Come on
breastfeeding
now, man.
going on, man.
And it's a lot of groups of people who need it, who can't eat food. I was reading about a lot of people's special needs need to really have that as a base, for their diet or whatever, a supplement for their diet. So
All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
nah, but they said they partnered with they basically working on a solution right now. So coming soon, it's on the way.
shout out to the Bug Fair coming up this weekend. At
Oh, I
the,
forgot to get my
Natural History
tickets.
Museum.
They got tickets too.
Okay.
Get your tickets. It's a lot of things going on in LA. The Women's Health Expo at
Hello.
the Long Beach Convention Center. KJLA sponsor.
That's dope.
So y'all check some things out that's happening in LA this weekend.
All right, y'all.
Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Love y'all.
All right.